First Sam!
NANI?! お前、これは。
So hey, good morning, good afternoon, good night. So welcome again, my neglected children of Terpaken. So let's continue. So we have discussed yung week 1 to 3 and now we will be discussing yung second module from 4 to 10. So expect na 30 minutes to. And expect na hindi siya detailed, only a video guideline. It's better for you to read this one and understand. I will only discuss the important ones and summarize some of the things that needs to be summarized. So, week 4 to 6, we'll be are the tools of criminal investigation. One tool, o yung gamit na tool or way to do things sa criminal investigation. One is information. Number 2 is interview or interrogation. Number 3 is instrumentation. To sum it up, information means yung mga important knowledge or data na kailanganin ng investigator tulad ng identity ng perpetrator or for example, yung nang rape ng victim. Kailangan yan so that may process yan sa korte para makakuha ng warrant of arrest, and that is detail or information. Interview interrogation naman is it's important to gain information or to build up a case. So, kailangan dyan ng witness, interrogate yung suspect, and etc. Instrumentation naman is, ito na yung sa course nyo, wherein it is the use of the different forensic field, forensic entomology, forensic anthropology, lahat ng forensic branch na pwedeng gamitin, fingerprint, and etc. So, let's go to the information. What is information? Knowledge of facts that the investigator needs. So, they can be from the regular sources, from the government or non-government agency. So, if they want to know more about the suspect, kung kilala nila, pwede silang pumunta sa barangay para makuha kung saan galing to, tao na to, or sa Department of Population sa LGU, or sa civil service pa makuha pa ng mga sources. Cultivated sources are from the informant or the informer of the police. Alam niyo naman, we will discuss the informant and informer. Grapevine sources naman. When the information is disclosed by the underworld characters such as prisoners or ex-convicts. Ito is, for example, sa drug trade. So, may isa, for example, sa Mindanao. There is still ongoing, for example, na drug trade sa Mindanao. And may nakakulong na drug lord sa Bilibid. So, makikipag-negotiate yung police natin sa drug lord na to na nakakulong. Siguro pag magbigay sa ng information, mabibigyan siya ng GCTA, Good Conduct and Time Allowance, na papaigtingin yung time niya sa kulungan. So, ganun. So, aside from it, there are the public records file, public records, modus operandi file, and etc. So, what is informant? So, the solution of a crime sometimes depends on information furnished by the informant. So, strictly speaking, an informant is any person who furnishes the police information relevant to a criminal case. So, any person daw na magbibigay ng information sa police is an informant. There are many types. Sabi dito is anonymous. Ito yung nagtitip. Example sa drugs, tinext lang niya kung saan yung next na drop off ng drug. Rival elimination, ito yung, for example, may dalawang gang sa area at yung may gang A, may gang B. So gusto ng gang A na alisin or kulong ng police yung gang B. So gang A, magbibigay siya ng information about gang B sa police. Ganun. False informant, ito is yung his purpose is to be, ito yung mali yung binibigay na information. Frightened informant is he is motivated by fear or natatakot siya kaya nagbigay siya ng information. Self-aggrandizing, ito yung mga pabibong informant. Confidential informant, ito yung siguro mas secret agent ng police. Mercenary informant, ito yung magbibigay ng information for money. Double crosser informant, ito yung parang for example, alam niyo naman yung double cross wherein for example, yung police nagbigay siya ng information sa kapwa niya police. Pero itong police pala is membro ng gang A. Ganun. Double crosser. Women or female. So, what are the motivation of informants? Vanity, sabi dito is the motive for self-aggrandizement. So, pabibo. By gaining, so, there are informants who are motivated by parang to be awarded, to be known by the people who known to be parang savior ng case dahil nagbigay siya ng information, and etc. Civic mindedness, ito yung motivation wherein talagang as a citizen, you are needed to give information para may peace and order. Fear, ito yung tatakot, nagbigay siya ng informant. Repentance, ito yung mga, so for example, may dalawang tao na rinape at pinatay yung isang bata. Nakuha yung isa at yun na nakuha yung isa at yung isa naman dahil repentant siya, nagbigay siya ng information. So ganun. So ano naman ang informer? So sabi dito is a person who provides information to the police on a regular basis. Informant is siguro one time lang siya. Informer is regular. So, selection of informers, depende yan kung, pero yung main quality ng informer is dapat trustworthy yan and he will not double cross the police. So, if you are an investigator, and actually, nakalimutan ko yung pangalan kung sino yung, si Sherlock Holmes, kung napanood niyo yung mga movies wherein he uses yung mga tricycle driver, mga drivers, mga bata, mga common na tao, yung little birds niya, to be an informer because they cannot, parang hindi sila nadedetect kagad. Tapos sila yung parang common na tao wherein sila yung nag-observe sa mga tao rin. So ganun, na selection of informers. So saan kaya nilalagay ang mga informer dapat? So within the ranks of criminals and criminal syndicates. So siguro mag-employ sila ng penetrating agent para i-penetrate, for example, ang NPA, ganun. Kaya nga, may mga videos ng NPA. Siguro nanggaling dun, vinidyo ng isang informer ng police or the army. Associates and friends of criminal. So, the girlfriend of the criminal, parents of the criminal, the friends, etc. Kasi pwede mo siyang i-bribe na bigyan ng pera para i-divulge yung location ng criminal na yun. And basahin nyo na lang, marami dyan. So, sources of information, government record, and etc. So, what is naman is interview and interrogation? So, interview, it's the simple questioning. Interrogation is parang confrontational in nature, mas aggressive siya. And the purpose of interrogation is to, get admission or confession. Interview lang is wala, parang simple lang siya, simple questioning. So what is the goal? Ito yung differentiation na. Interview, simple questioning. Interrogation is questioning in an aggressive manner. Ito. It involves skillful questioning of hostile witness and suspect. Yung interrogation. Sa interview, hindi naman. Pag-question lang, simple. Witness voluntarily give their accounts about the commission of a crime, while interrogation applies to uncooperative or reluctant witness. So, interview lang is sa mga witness na freely, voluntarily, nagbibigay ng information. Interrogation is for those suspects or witness na they do not want to give you information. And the purpose of interrogation is to gain admission or confession. So these are yung parang differentiation ng interview interrogation. So terms to know, interview, interrogation, interrogate, basahin nyo. And one of the quotes in interview interrogation, the right question will provide the right answer. If it is asked to the right person at the right time and a right place. So, yung tamang question daw, magbibigay ng tamang answer. Kung inaas mo, basta, it is common sense naman. So, dapat tugma lahat yung itatanong mo sa tao para tugma rin yung sasabihin niya. Okay? So, yun, interview. General kinds of interview. Cognitive. So, cognitive interview is wherein the interviewer will let the interviewee narrate his story. While the question and answer is the interviewer will question, the interviewee will answer. So, golden rule interview, never allow the interviewer to conduct nor let anyone to conduct an interview without prior visit to the crime scene. So, ganito daw. Huwag kang mag-interview as a police kung hindi ka pa pumunta sa crime scene or hindi mo pa alam ang case na yun. Okay? Ganun daw. So, ito yung kung bakit. So, basahin nyo na lang. So, the questioning should be in agreement with the facts, etc. and etc. So, what is the qualities of a good interviewer? Rapport. So, rapport is parang synergy yan. Parang, it is the comfortable feeling na nagigets mo yung tao, na kagets mo, kaalaam. That is a rapport. Dapat, you should build that one when you're interviewing someone. So, for example, whenever you want to interview something, or yung mga reporter na nag-interview, watch how they do it. No? For example, first is, they ask for personal kung kamusta siya, how is it going, mga ganun. Sinaset nila yung rapport. Ito is usually ginagawa ng mga reporter, di ba? Mga nag-i-interview to get more information. Kasi when magkaalaan kayo, tendency is that the interviewee will give more information. Forceful personality. Forceful yet parang you command the interview to get more information. Parang ganun. Knowledge on psychology and psychiatry. So, the interviewer siguro is may certificate sa psychology or psychiatry, or knowledgeable sa questioning method ng mga psychologists or psychiatrists. Conversational tone of voice. So, ito daw is, dapat tugma yung tono ng pagsasalita mo sa situation. Na pag malumanay yung ini-interview mo, malumanay ka rin. Parang ganun. Acting quality. So, dapat actor ka rin. For example, if you are interviewing a tricycle driver, so you should act as a tricycle driver too, so that makaalaan kayo para may rapport. And humility. Kasi if you are not humble in questioning, tendency is that the interview will not give more information. So ganun. So why witnesses refuse to talk? Fear of reprisal. So ito is fear of reprisal. Baka siguro magbigay sila ng, for example, may na-witness ka na killing at kilala mo siya. Kilala mo yung pumatay. Tinatanong ng pulis kung sino yung pumatay. Sasabihin mo ba? Natatakot ka, di ba? So, that is yung nafe-feel mong takot, that is fear of reprisal. Baka kasi malaman ng pumatay, malaman ng kakilala mo na pumatay na sinabi mo sa pulis, tendency is papatayin ka rin, di ba? So, ganun. Pero, meron namang rule na anonymous, di ba? Isekreto mo na lang sabihin. Great inconveniences. So, people are busy. Lahat, except lang ata dito kasi busy sa chismis, di ba? Pero sa ibang bansa, people are busy. They don't have time to go to the police station to state what they saw, what they witnessed. So, ganun. Ang great inconveniences. Hatred against the police. So, there are people who hates the police, kaya they will not give information. Or against sila, sa government, na NPA sila, na witnesses, hindi sila magbibigay ng informasyon. Because of the bias of witness, so yun nga yung sinabi ko, related siya sa fear of reprisal. Hindi naman sa natatakot ka na patayin ka ng kakilala mo. Parang hindi mo sasabihin dahil kakilala mo, ganun. Kasi kakilala mo nga. Homies mo, kaya hindi mo sasabihin yung pangalan niya. Avoidance of publicity. So, there are people who are very shy. They don't want attention, so they refuse to talk. Family restriction. So, there are families wherein they don't want, for example, you witness a crime as a child or as a 19-year-old man. Pero sabi ng tao na wag na lang kasi baka ma-involve ka pa, sabi. So, family restriction. So, there are phases of interview. One is preparation, one is approach, one is warming up, one is cognitive interview. So, sa preparation, you must research kung sino yung ini-interview mo. Kung pangalan niya, taga saan siya, ano yung interest niya, etc. etc. Approach is sa techniques na pag-uusapan natin mamaya kung ano yung technique na gagamitin para maganda yung kakalabasan ng interview. Warming up, ito yung nagbibuild ka na ng rapport wherein you will ask personal. Hindi ko alam kung personal in question yung sasabihin mo. Or, so for example is, ito yung pinaka-first na dapat i-question mo na para makaalaan kayo ganun. Magwa-warm. And the cognitive interview wherein you let him narrate what he. So, rules in questioning. One question at a time. Avoid implied answer. Simplicity of question. Saving face. Yes and no answer. Basahin nyo na lang. One question at a time. So, hindi dapat dalawa para kasi if there is dalawa yung sabihin mo, tendency is that isa lang yung answer niya. Avoid implied answer. So, for example, is sabi mo is siguro parang sinabi mo na pagka-question mo wag kang mag-question ng obvious na mga question. Kasi, let him parang question, open-ended mga question. Wherein, it is not answerable by yes or no lang. So, wag mong sabihin na, nakita mo ba yung krimen? So, yes. Dapat, can you describe what you saw? Parang ganun, dapat. Simplicity of question. Dapat yung sa language na alam niya. Kung Ilocano, hindi Ilocano. Saving face, kapag nagkamali ka, dapat may excuse ka na nakabaon. Yes or no question, parang sa implied answer na yun. So, types of witness. No, nothing type. So, found among low and educated, disinterested type, ito yung walang pake, the drunken type, ito yung so basahin nyo na lang yun kasi it is common sense or it is easy to understand na lang. Common sense. So interrogation, so we have discussed naman yung difference niya sa interview. So the main purpose of it is to get an admission or confession. We will discuss kung ano yung admission and confession. So types of interrogation, narrative type, question answer type, parang tulad ng interview na cognitive interview and question and answer. Consideration when questioning, phrasing. So questions must be clear, concise, structuring. You must have planned it already. Distribution of question. So, etc. Kung marami kang i-interrogate, dapat i-distribute mo yung questions mo para hindi pare-parehas. Characteristics of a good question. Basahin nyo. So, must be concise, worded, easy to understand, extensive use of 5 who, what, where, when, and how. Question must be more than one word. Hindi dapat yes or no lang. Must be prepared. What question? Parang parehas siya sa interview. Investigator attitudes. You must be dominating the investigation. Avoid distracting mannerism. Language must be consonants with the subject mentality. Anyways, we will discuss further na sa video na i-release ko about sa interview. So, ganun. So, let's now go to what is confession or admission or the main purpose of interrogation. Admission, there is a statement of a person. So, for example, may isang krimen, may saksakan, may sinaksak si A, sinaksak niya si B, at nakita ni C. Kapag sinabi niyang, pag may sinabi lang siya, sabi ni A is, sinabi ni C na may nakita siyang daladalang itaksi. Hindi. May sinabi ni A na may daladala siyang itak. Wala siyang sinabing iba, yun lang. That is a statement. Admission na may daladala siyang itak. So, sa confession naman, for example, pag sinabi niyang may daladala siyang itak at pinatay niya si letter B, that is confession. So, pag statement lang na dinadala ko yung itak, that is admission. So, the person only acknowledge facts or circumstance of the crime. So, pag in-acknowledge niya na daladala niya yung itak, that is admission. If he acknowledge na ginawa niya yung killing or murder, that is confession. Sa admission, there is no acceptance of guilt. Kaya, yung sinabi lang naman niya kasi is daladala niya yung itak. Sa confession, the guilt is admitted. Admission does not involve acknowledgement of guilt. Parehas, so ganun. So, confession is conclusive. It is personal to the accused. It expresses that he done the crime. Sa admission naman, he only expresses a fact. May nangyari ganun. Hindi niya sinabi na siya yung gumawa ng krimen. So, ganun. So, when the accused confessed to the commission of crime, he accepts the facts constituting the offense. But if he interposes self-defense or others, then his acknowledgement is not a confession but admission. So, may mga cases, sabi ni Daliles na parang nag-confess siya sa pulis, pero binangad na or kinuha niya, sinabi niyang hindi ko sinabi yan, or parang ganun, is that will be considered admission, the confession that he said earlier. So, ito yung parang cases wherein a confession was treated as an admission. So, what are the kinds of confession? Extrajudicial and judicial confession. So, extrajudicial means sa extra, hindi yan ginawa sa korte. Hindi nag-take oath yung witness or yung suspect sa pagko-confess niya bago siya nag-confess sa korte. Yun ang extrajudicial. So, or ginawa yung extrajudicial sa hindi sa korte pero sa police station, sa custodial investigation during the arrest, basta hindi ginawa sa korte. So, ganun. So, sabi daw dito, extrajudicial is not sufficient ground for conviction. Kahit sinabi niya, pinatay niya, dapat may corroboration yan or may combination, may i-plus mo. I-relate mo siya sa isang corroborative evidence. So, for example, kung pinatay niya yung tao, sinabi niya na, pinatay ko yung tao sa station, sinabi niya yun. Dapat, tanong ng police na, saan yung ginamit mong pagpatay? So, kapag kinuha niya at pinasant niya, the confession itself can be, and the witness, the evidence na yung itak can be used as parang a confession already, parang a good evidence to the suspect. Okay? So, types of extrajudicial, yung letter A lang, voluntary, is the acceptable one, wherein the suspect is the one who said it himself without any outside interference or outside mechanism that made him say it. Sa involuntary, from the word involuntary, pinilit yan ng police. So, siguro sa police brutality ganun, or torture, kaya nag-confess siya, that is very wrong. That cannot be admitted in the court. Judicial confession naman, so it is a plea of guilty made during the arraignment, basta sa korte yan. Okay? A plea of guilty when formally entered on arraignment is sufficient to sustain conviction of any offense, even a capital one, without further proof. So, let's ba? So, you will, kung may court, ano ba yan? Criminal procedure kayo, you will understand that na during the, may mga stages kasi sa court hearing, meron yung tinatawag ng arraignment. Arraignment is yung parang the court will give you a chance to plead your case, whether guilty or not guilty. If not guilty, the case will proceed to trial. If guilty, pwede na dun mag-end yung court hearing. So, yun. Techniques interrogation, we will discuss it on another video. So if maganda yung comprehension mo, reading comprehension mo, you will understand this. So the technique in interrogating, the apparent sign of deception, and etc. So let's go to the custodial investigation. The questioning initiated by the law enforcement officer after a person has been taken into custody or otherwise deprived of his freedom of action in a significant way. So if inaresto mo yung suspect or the suspect, then mag-start yung custodial investigation. Or if a person is willing to go to the police station, that is custodial investigation 2. So basahin nyo na lang to. And RA 7438, ito yung nandito yung mga rights of the accused, rights ng mga suspect. So very highlight yan yung Miranda rights. Ito yung right to remain silent. Yung purpose ng right to remain silent is that kahit yung sabihin, parang kahit tanong ng police at magsa-silent ka lang, pwede mong gawin yun. Okay? And right to have a counsel or an attorney of your choice. And kung pwede kang kumuha ng attorney mo. At kung hindi mo kaya, ma-afford yung attorney, pwede kang mag-request sa PAO. Public Attorney's Office. Libre. Right to be informed of the nature of the accusation. Ito yung pinaka-first na dapat sabihin ng police kung mag-aresto sila ng person. Wherein, you are arrested ba, for example, kapag isa-serve yung warrant of arrest sa bahay nyo kasi drug addict ka, or drug lord ka, or drug achuchu, then, he must say kung bakit ka inaaresto. Ganun. Okay ba? Okay. So, sabi dito, these rights could be validly waived in writing and with the assistance of counsel, and etc. So, right to remain silent can be waived basta pinasign mo siya sa, for example, is magko-confess ka sana. Dapat, meron yung attorney mo. Dapat, parang sabihin mo na, kahit, yung validly waive is, hindi mo na kailangan yung right na yun. Parang, hindi ko i-take effect tong right na to. Parang i-ignore yung right mo na, right to, para hindi mo na magamit yan in the future na as a defense in right of self-incrimination. Basta, ganun. I hope you understand that. So, let's now go to instrumentation. So, instrumentation simply refers to the tool of the uses of the forensic sciences or the criminalistics. So, it's the process of applying instruments or tools in police investigation. So, firearms identification, fingerprint examination, question document examination, etc. and etc. So, basically, ito yung purpose ng course nyo para to strengthen yung investigation method or process. So, crime scene is the treasure island because you can found there yung mga treasures. Treasure means yung evidence, pieces of evidence. So, ganun. So, modern discoveries of instrumentation. The DNA, parang it's the ultimate identifying test wherein no two individual has the same DNA. So, I think except lang sa identical twins, yung magkamuka, na no two person can be found with the same DNA. So, for example, nakita yung semen mo sa rape crime scene. Tapos, hindi mo masabi na kapag na-detect na semen yung DNA mo, sinabi ng SOCO na DNA ni Mr. Bungayon to. So, you cannot say in court na hindi mo yung DNA kasi DNA will not be, no two people can have DNA unless may ka-twins ka. So, discovered by Alec John Jeffries. Hair examination. The roots of the hair when examined under this new technology will determine the presence of drugs taken by the person. So, for the cases, hair examination. Automated fingerprint identification system. It is where all recorded fingerprints are there. So, for example, na-record yung fingerprint po, tapos nakita sa crime scene, they will get your fingerprint from the evidences or from the crime scene, then they will match it from the office. para to identify kung sino yung mga nandun sa crime scene. Gets ba? GPS. This is for effective identification of the location of criminal. So, GPS is parang inherent na nasa gadget na yan. So, for example, kung for example is gagamit ka ng Google Map. So, yun yung parang reference point ng Google para ma-detect kung saan ka. Gets ba? Gets ba? Sa mga gadgets to. Kung saan yung place ng, for example, suspects. So, it is very modern. Suggested procedure of crime response. Just, and terms to understand. Just read those. Okay, so, that is for week 2, 4 to 6.